Hi Niall, is Radoslav here. I just want to go through the code for our second CA for shaders. So firstly, I will show the depth of field. That's the kind of result I get from the code. I'm not sure if that's the effect I should get, but that's the closer I can figure it out. So firstly, in pass 1, we just create the scene. In pass 2, we light this scene. That's code actually you give us in the class. So then in pass 3, I have pixel offset, Poisson disk. It's 12 points in that disk. I set sigma and a for the equations from the brief. That's the weights of the Poisson disk, sum of the weights, calculation of COC, circle of confusion max, near clipping plan, far clipping plan, focal plane and far clipping plane. Here is the calculation of depth depending on the plane. And here is how its depth of field calculate on the pixels. So we get the color and depth separately. Then we calculate a circle of confusion. And we have pixel sample, which is just calculate from the texture. We calculate average color and we return that color. Next shader is blue. Again, I'm not sure if it's correct, if it displayed correctly. As I showed you before, I get some results here, proper. I think that's the proper results on those textures, but I couldn't figure out what's wrong here. If you see, we get here some kind of shades. As you say in the brief, again we render the scene, light the scene, pass 2. Then in pass 3 and 4, I have just function which change the size of the scene of the texture by 2. First by 4, then by 16. Next in pass 5 we have a luminance threshold which calculate the brightness. So it's bright pass. It just take the depth of the texture and check if it's greater than that threshold or not. If it is, it should return just the actual color. If not, should return black. And pass 6, 7, and 8 use the Calvasi bloom. We just calculate the Calvasi for this scene and textures. It takes the UV coordinates, and depending on the corner we subtract or add dynamic UVs from that equation. And then we calculate tone map. For tone map we need the lerping factor, gamma expose factor, and scene frame factor. Scene frame is frame around the scene. So we actually calculate the bloom color, the color from the textures, and then we just lerp between them. That function is just necessary if we don't have this. All the scene looks really strange. Next one is time bloom. It's basically the same like the bloom. Effect. The difference is that I have the system time. I use system time and sine with amplitude and frequency to get the kind of timing. As you can see, I get colors here. And those are actually work pretty nice. So I'll just show you the difference between those. Here. So we have now two thresholds in pass 5, low and high threshold. And then we just calculate lerp factor, which is just sin of frequency and time, of multiplication those two. Then we calculate lerp threshold, which is just the lerping, but which is just lerp between the high and low threshold of luminance by the lerp factor. And then we just check if depth of the scene is greater, and if yes, it should return actual color. If not, it should return black. And here again we have Calvasi, tone map. Those doesn't change, so that's okay. Now the gloom factor effect. Basically, gloom is pretty similar to the previous two. Just the difference is that now we have to downsize both textures, the actual texture and glow texture. So we duplicate the code from the color. We now have the glow color depth and glow color, we have to calculate the samples for the both of them, divide them, and we return the pixel shader output structure with extra variable, which is just glow. We need to add also a kind of glowiness threshold to calculate how much we want to have the glow works. Again, you can see just really light shades here. You know, if it's wrong something with my card or my code, I actually don't know, because here, if you can see, we get pretty nice, at least some of them. And in tone map we need to also calculate the lerping, which is based on the both samples from the actual texture and glow map, glow texture. Those calculations do the job. That's actually everything. Thank you.